Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1056 of One Piece. It is just crazy how back to back to back Oda has been coming at us with such fire, and I'm super excited. I said it last time and I'll say it again. That break was extremely necessary, and I really feel the story coming together. Yes, I'm a little bit perturbed about the new timetable we've been put on. I know Oda's been saying 5 years, 3 years. Part of me, just as a long-term One Piece fan, been reading it and watching it since I was in middle school. I'm 28 now. I just feel like there's absolutely no way that this series that I've loved and grown up on is going to be over that quickly, especially with all the promises and plot points that have yet to be paid off. But I've always had faith in Oda despite some, qualms here and there. So we'll see. Anyway, this is your first time on my channel, or you've been here before but haven't done so already, would greatly appreciate it if you could do your boy a solid, and please give me a like, share, subscribe. Would mean the world to me. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review. Alright, 1056 of One Piece, Cross Guild. So we get another, insertion of, film red propaganda, film red, promotion. And it's Uta, we get flashbacks with her and Shanks. She has a little poem. She has one poem or song lyric crossed out, which I think basically is just her way of saying she wants Shanks back, she misses Shanks, but then you see it kind of crumbled up in a new one where I think she's kind of alluding to the first one's I miss you, I want you back, but the other one's I'm just gonna have faith that we will, reunite, and what we're both doing is important to us. And so it's kind of I forgot, there was a moment earlier in the series where something like that happens where it's I know I miss you, but you got to do your own thing, and I kind of feel like that's what's happening here. And we're not gonna spend too much time on that. I don't really care. So hopefully, I wonder if Uta's gonna be a legitimately canon character in the series. If she's gonna hold any significance. Honestly, I wouldn't really care, but I have a feeling that there's gonna be some kind of plot twist with her heritage, Shanks' mother. So after that, we have another cover story. I love cover stories, and in this cover story, we have Katakuri and Oven versus the Vinsmoke Kids, right? And I'm just gonna be real with you. I do not see any way in hell how they're going to get out of this one. I really, really don't. Honestly, I was kind of disappointed that Katakuri was involved in this. I thought, he kind of turned over a new leaf. But when you think about it, he has no loyalty to them. His loyalty or his, his faith is in Luffy, not them. So it kind of made sense to me. I kind of understood it. But I'm like, damn, why are you still protecting Big Mom's territory? Why are you still going after people? Honestly, the only thing I can think of is at the end of the day, they did fight and injure his family. The Big Mom pirates are all blood relatives, so I guess for him this is just protecting his family. But honestly, I think they're all just let them leave. The irony of the fact is they came to save their family, and they're trying to leave, and now you're fighting them over what they most likely did to your family. Because I refuse to think it's simply about territory. Maybe for Oven, but not for Katakuri. But I digress. We'll see. So anyway, we start off this chapter with Raizo and Shinobu looking completely drained from their fight with Aramaki. They are looking down bad. And so, we see them having IVs, trying to get nutrients back in them. And I was really worried about is this something that they can recover from easily? Is there going to be any ramifications from this? Which we actually see, at least from one of them, the aftermath of this treatment. Speaking of treatment, something that I'm really worried about, especially because this looks like this is the actual second to last chapter before we are out of Wano. I can't imagine Wano lasting much longer after next chapter. But everyone kind of had this theory that either Law or Chopper were going to cure the inhabitants of their smile curse, right? I was always leaning towards Chopper, but that doesn't seem to be the case. However, we are still one chapter short. We haven't really seen Chopper doing anything, so maybe that's still on the table. But honestly, I would be really, really sad if they ended up leaving Wano without, freeing the people from the Smile Curse. It's just something that might not be too important to people, but honestly, it's just a nice little thing that I personally would like to see. Anyway, after that, Nekomushi and Inuarashi basically go up to Carrot and basically tell her that she's going to be the new ruler of Zou. And I'm going to be real with you, that came completely out of nowhere. I was not expecting that. I was like, what? Where is this coming from? I totally understand the fact that they are, their loyalty has always come to Wano first. Yes, they are Minks, but they have always been Oden's loyal retainers, so that trumps their obligation as, the Mink leader. It's kind of sad in a way because they're leaving the Minks high and dry, but I do understand it to a certain level, to a certain degree. So I get that. My only qualm is I just don't feel as though Carrot has ever been set up as a leader. I think she's been a great fighter. I do think that, she has, conviction and compassion, but she just seems really, really young. Maturity wise, I feel like Wanda would be the better decision. It's just weird. Oda usually likes to set things up before he dishes them out, and I've just never seen her built up as a wise ruler, a wise leader, someone capable of defending the Minks. Now they do bring that up, and she's like, "There's many Minks stronger than me," but they're like, and that's fine. In order to be a ruler, you don't necessarily have to be the strongest, and she's going to be protected by the Duke. She's going to have Wanda by her side, so that's good. But yeah, for all the people that hate Carrot and didn't want her on the crew, you got your wish. I never quite understood it. I always thought Carrot was a really cool character, and the main thing for me when it comes to crewmates is how they interact with one another and their camaraderie. And I just love all of Carrot's interactions with the rest of the crew, particularly Chopper. And I do like that she would kind of usurp the role of the youngest member, right? She calls him Chobro. She looks up to Chopper as an older brother. Chopper for the longest time has been the youngest member of the crew, so I thought it was going to be a nice little dynamic shift for us. But we're not going to get it, but it's okay. This wasn't something that I absolutely needed to happen. It was just if she became a Straw Hat, I would have been cool with it, no qualms. I understand that I'm in a minority in that, but whatever, to each their own, right? But yeah, I just found that to be very, very interesting, and shout out to Carrot, and I hope she does inherit the spirit and the will of Pedro, and she does a phenomenal job. I wish her well. Anyway, the next sequence we get, I am super happy about. So Sukiyaki finally lets Momonosuke and Hiyori know that he is their grandfather. Honestly, I thought it was super stupid earlier in these chapters where he was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to tell him. I'm too ashamed, this and the other. I was like, are you kidding me? You're the last living descendant of, you're their last living relative, and you're not going to let them know that you're there. You're not going to support your grandson in his, endeavor to be Shogun. You're not going to give them, they deserve this. After everything they've been put through, the least you could do is be there for them. The least you could do is provide them with a family and knowledge, teach them how to read the poneglyphs, all the other secrets and the massive knowledge that you have acquired over your time. You can tell them more about how Kaido came into power. They were there, but how not to repeat the mistakes of Wano, how your experience as a shogun and how you led, and what everything's going to need, right? So I'm glad that was a decision that was made. I also like the juxtaposition of the fact that Usopp's dad Yasopp is yeah, I'm not ready to meet them, and they dip, but Sukiyaki actually stays and says, all right, fine, I'll let you know who I am, and ends up doing that, right? Also, I just love how the hits keep on coming when it comes to Kinemon and just being stupid and not being on the take. So basically, Sukiyaki is yeah, I kind of assume you all figured out who I am, and you have all you have Denjiro and you have Kawamatsu and stuff being oh yeah, like we thought it was suspicious that, you know, there was someone wearing a Tengu mask, blah blah blah. We knew that you were no more than an ordinary swordsmith, blah blah blah. And you just see kind of in the background Kinemon just like looking down, and then we get a panel with him just going like, I had no clue. And I'm just like, typical freaking like Kinemon, bro. Typical Kinemon. Being last of the update, not knowing shit, but playing it well. At my Taekwondo school, we have a saying, fake it till you make it. And like, Kinemon has been an exemplary like personification of that motto, of that creed. So like, shout out to like Kinemon, man. I just love how like Oda can perfectly balance tension and like humor and wit and just gags. And that was just a moment that made me chortle, if you will. So anyway, after that, we get to see the Straw Hats, and they're all just chatting, talking, and, you know, basically Robin lets them in on the fact that Pluton is here on Wano. And everyone's freaking out. It's a big deal. There's an ancient weapon. I was kind of a little shocked by Frankie's choice of words. Frankie basically says, so it is real, and I was like, dude, yeah, you of all people should know it's real. You saw the blueprints for it. You burned the blueprints for it. Like, what do you mean it's real? So I guess maybe it was one of those things where he's like, yeah, like, I guess I knew of the concept. I knew it was real in theory, but to hear that it's actually here, to know that it's, you know, it's tangible, is completely different. But I still thought that was weird. I also like the fact that, like, Frankie's like, do you want it? And I'm wondering, does he mean, like, do you want us to go get it? Or do you want me to, like, build it? So, like, that was kind of weird to me too, but honestly, love how Luffy once again stays true to his nature and he's like, nah, I'm good, and you know, the crew rolls with it because they know that's not the kind of captain that they have. He doesn't want shortcuts, he's not interested in a weapon, you know, he's just interested in adventuring and getting that One Piece, and that's what we're sticking with. And we're definitely going to find out about Pluton later, but just when it's relevant, maybe towards the end where we have the final war. Maybe we're going to have, once again, I do believe, said it a million times, all the allies Luffy has made throughout the years are finally going to show up and, you know, help him out. And, you know, maybe Pluto is going to be vital in that. But once again, I do stand by the assertion that, you know, maybe Pluto in and of itself isn't truly a weapon. So we'll see about that. Oh, also, we find Shinobu has somehow reverted back to her bewitching Kunoichi looks from back in the day. I don't know how they did that. Apparently, I guess it's just some kind of after effect of being drained and then revitalized. So I guess secretly, Aramaki has the ability to, you know, bring back youth if you're able to survive and rehydrate and like give yourself nutrients and whatnot, right? I guess it's gonna be like a joke about how, like, you know, probably like draining them, flatten out their wrinkles and stuff, and like their like hydration levels. I honestly, it's One Piece. You don't want to think about it too much, but I'm not gonna lie, I get why Shinobu was so full of herself. She's looking kind of bad. I get it. I get the whole bewitching Kunoichi thing. She wasn't lying. It's like when you have like the old heads tell you they used to be like good at basketball or whatever, and then like you see a clip of them back in the day just busting people out. I'm like, okay, all right, you did have it. Didn't believe you at first, but like, all right, you have proof. So that's actually wild. So turns out, to my, I don't know why I'm just so like liberal with people joining the crew. I just love the interactions, but I really did want Otama to join as like the chore girl or whatever, you know, the cabin girl or whatever. I also thought it would be nice for, you know, Luffy in Ace's place to fulfill the promise to her that, you know, next time he came to Wano, she could come with the crew. But I do like the fact that, you know, she's going to stay behind. She's going to get trained by Shinobu. And, you know, maybe once again towards the end of the series when, you know, eventually people are going to show up to help them, she's going to help out the crew. Or maybe there'll be an epilogue where she ends up on the crew. That would be really nice. Anyway, something that I thought was definitely going to happen. I think this is going to be like a running gag. So we see Caribou, and he's been still here. I don't know how people are just allowing him to be around. Also, we have really high spec observation Haki users and people that are just super aware. We have Samurai Ninja and stuff. So for him to just be spying on them, I don't know how he's getting away with that. But anyway, Caribou is here, and he also hears that Pluton is here. So I do think that a big theory that was discussed during the Reverie, and there's something else that the Reverie discussed that I want to talk about, but a big theory that was discussed during the Reverie is Caribou was going to find out that Pluton was here, so check, they got that right. And I do think that he's looking to join the Blackbeard Pirates. When we originally met Caribou, he was trying to join, you know, the fake Straw Hat Pirates. So he is looking for a strong crew, and I think with this knowledge, he's going to give it to Blackbeard and possibly, you know, spur things into action for Blackbeard with getting Poseidon, with getting Pluton, and you know, maybe he might hang around and somehow stumble upon information on Uranus. So that would be cool as well. But yeah, nice call out for the people at the Reverie and anyone else that said Caribou was going to get this information. I really believe that theory, and it's nice to see it come to fruition. So anyway, a few days later, a few days have passed, and you know, Momonosuke, like the leader he is, has completely set forth a Wano restoration plan that is going underway. Now that that's done, he wants to, you know, hang out with the Straw Hats, right? He's been traveling them for quite some time. They've been his friends for quite some time. He looks up to them like, you know, like a little brother. And so he goes to find Zoro. He's like, hey Zoro, can you show me some, you know, cool sword moves? But he doesn't see Zoro. He doesn't see Luffy. That typically, I guess, is around Zoro. And then something that I didn't notice about how he like checks and looks for all the Straw Hats and doesn't find them is that he literally looks for the Straw Hats all in the order in which they joined, which was really cool, especially with the fact that the last person he asks about is Yamato. So I think that once again, this is just Oda's way of concretely cementing that Yamato is joining the crew. There's even a panel at the very end. I'm just gonna skip to that part where Yamato is like, I'm going out to sea. So I don't think there is any point in just, you know, denying it anymore. You Yamato joining the crew deniers. Yamato is joining, and I don't think that's a problem. I think she'll fit right in. I think she's going to be a nice addition. It's nice to get another high-tier fighter. I do understand that the crew isn't all about fighters, but we have all our auxiliary positions. We have our cooks. We have all our, like, we have our non-combatants and people that we don't need for fighting. But, you know, we are a Yonko crew. We need some firepower, and Yamato is going to give us that firepower, especially as a Conqueror's Haki user, especially as an Adapt Haki user in general. And, you know, we're going to get the kind of lore building from the fact that, you know, the Pirate King had the son of Kaido on his crew. Like, stuff like that I really like a lot, because that's going to help his name and lore spread around the One Piece verse. So I really enjoy that. So anyway, we once, you know, we find out, once Momo goes to Yori and asks, like, where is everyone? We find out that, you know, they're setting off to sea and that they said goodbye to everyone. I have a feeling that they intentionally didn't tell Momo because they weren't trying to have like a long drawn out goodbye and Momo cry, or like Momo try to stop them and stuff like that. They just want to get it over and done with. So that's why they told everyone but him. Also, I just think they didn't want to distract him from his Shogun duties. He has more important things to do than to see him off to hang out with them, right? And so anyway, we see on the docks, it's my boy Luffy, it's my boy Law, and it's Captain Kidd, right? And so they're trying to figure out, you know, where they want to set off. And before I even talk about that, can I just say what a cool bro Law is? You know, people like come for my boy Law for like no reason. He is like one of the chillest people. He is hilarious. He's that dude that like hangs out with like the idiots and the dumb people. And like, yes, he judges them a little bit, but he still remains cool with them. He still like is that dude. Like he talks his shit, but like he's at the like core of it a really good person, because like the fact that he went out of his way to give the Kid Pirates a poneglyph rubbing. He didn't have to do that at all, and technically he's in competition. Now, once again, he's not really after the One Piece. He's more looking for you know, the history of the world and what it means to be a D, and to finally understand like why Corazon saved him and what like the significance of the D is. But still, to go out of his way to give this dude a rubbing and be like, hey man, you were equally vital in like getting this, and like, you know, completely circumventing everything Kaido said about, you know, pirate alliances ending in betrayal and actually ending their alliance on a good note. That's my boy. Shout out to Law, bruh. That's why you're one of my top 3 favorite characters, boy. I love you, man. Anyway, So they're all picking out a route to go because they don't want to go the same direction. They're like, this is over. And like, that's crazy to me that this is the end of an era. I don't know. A lot of people thought Law was going to tag along. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I'm really going to miss, you know, the Luffy-Law dynamic and the jokes and all that. And you're not my captain and stuff like that. So anyway, both Luffy and Kid, like the rivals they are, like the like-minded individuals they are, they both choose to go to the middle or east. Meanwhile, Law goes northeast because, you know, he actually uses his brain and knows that that is the most direct path to, I believe, whatever the next poneglyph or whatever the next objective for them is, right? And so Luffy and Kid have to draw what's it called, straws basically, to figure out where they go. And unfortunately, Luffy loses, right? And then Luffy pulls out his, I'm a Yonko, I'm an Emperor card. I shouldn't be losing his straws, even though it has nothing to do with anything. It's just like a luck of the draw, heart of the cards type thing, which ironically enough, with how lucky Luffy is, you would think he would have won it. But we gotta throw Kid a bone, right? Speaking of Kid, also they mentioned the fact that, you know, the last poneglyph rubbing that they got, they forced from, was it Snack? I forget. No, it wasn't Snack. It was I forget his name, but there was another sweet commander outside of Katakuri, Cracker, and Smoothie, and he actually, the reason that there were only 3 sweet commanders instead of 4 was because he embarrassed Big Mom by losing to Kid and, you know, giving up that poneglyph rubbing. So I like that callback. A lot of people were really shocked and surprised. I was like, no, we knew that happened. So that was cool. Now they talk about, you know, not Kid. Killer talks to Kid about, hey, if we're going to be going after the One Piece, we have to get serious about, you know, getting that guy that's scarred by fire, marked by fire, something like that. And immediately I'm like, are they talking about Sabo? And at first I thought it was like a negative thing, like, wait, why are they attacking Sabo? He's not in competition with them. He has no reason to like go for the One Piece or impede their path from the One Piece. So why would they be attacking Sabo? But my thing is, oh, maybe they want to recruit him. Maybe they found out about, you know, the revolution that he did, the fact that he went up against the Celestials, and that they're basically like, I like the cut of this guy's jib. Yeah, this is someone that I want on my crew. So maybe that's kind of what they're getting at here. But I would personally like for it to be a completely new character. Also, another reason that I think that the one burned by fire is Sabo, and like it's most likely to be Sabo, is the sheer fact that right after like Kid mentions it, you kind of see Robin and Law with these drawn with these kind of like ominous expressions, and we do know that they are like the smartest people in the room currently, and they are the ones that are most likely to, you know, read the paper and like stay tuned with the events of like what's going on in the One Piece world. And I know for a fact Robin knows Sabo. I forget if Law is familiar with him, but, you know, that was the same arc where, you know, Law had to fight Doflamingo and where Sabo got the Mera Mera no Mi. So I do believe that he does know about Sabo and does know that Sabo is Luffy's brother. So another reason why I'm kind of leaning towards it being Sabo. Like I said, I thought it was Sabo because he does have that burn mark on his eye from when he was young. He does have the Mera Mera no Mi, the fire abilities, so that would make sense. I know some people in the comments were saying, oh, it might be Aokiji. Yeah, but I don't know. Aokiji's doing his thing with Blackbeard right now, so I don't think they would touch that. So I really would like to think that it's a new character, some new big bad in the world. And it would just make a lot of sense with, you know, the way that the Straw Hat crew is shaping up and building up and gaining in power for, you know, the Kid Pirates to also get, you know, a big heavy hitter in on their crew as well, so that they can actually do this whole rival to Luffy thing, because honestly this rivalry is headcanon at this point as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, to wrap up this review, we're going to talk about probably my favorite part of this chapter, Cross Guild. So I had a lot of issue, if you've been watching my reviews, with the fact that Buggy was a commander. I thought it was an emperor. Now, I thought it was funny. I thought it was like hilarious, like ha ha ha, he's failing up. But I was like, okay, there's a limit to it. When he did it at the Shichibukai, I totally understand. But like, Yonko have always been on a separate level. Like, Yonko to be respected. There's no way, in my opinion, that you could be a Yonko and you're not, your throne, your title is not constantly challenged every day. And I was like, there is no way in hell that Buggy is going to be able to, like, you know, keep this title. And like how he got this title in the first place was beyond me. Another thing that the Reverie people called was the fact that maybe he got, you know, some of the other Shichibukai like Mihawk under his wing. And that is exactly what happened. He has Mihawk and Sir Crocodile under his command. How he did it, I have no clue, but I do have some theories. First of all, I think maybe they're not really under him, or at least not in the eyes of them. Maybe the government, the Marines think that, but I love the idea that, you know, that Buggy basically said, blah, 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 we need to stick together. Oh, you know, they're coming after all of us. We need to align, and so we're partners. And basically he told me that they're partners, but under the eyes of the government and the Gorosei and the Marines and Akainu, like they think that, you know, Buggy or whatever is the one in charge. So that's one thing. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Crocodile, knowing, you know, the threat that it is to be an emperor, the threat that that it is to have the target on your back, decided, you know what, it's okay. You can have, you know, the position of, you know, captain, the head, the one in charge. I don't mind at all, because, you know, that takes sweat off my back, and if something were to happen, you're going to be the main focus. But honestly, I do think the Cross Guild is such a tremendous threat because, one, you have firepower in Mihawk. Mihawk alone, without a crew to his name or any kind of like alliances, was a Shichibukai. The rest of the Shichibukai either had a crew or an organization under them. Mihawk by himself, one man, was a Shichibukai. And so that alone speaks volumes to like his power and the fear he strikes in the heart of, you know, the world government. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Crocodile, you know, he's not all that high on the power scaling tier, right? But he has experience leading an organization. You know, he had the in Alabasta, he had, oh, I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Baroque Works, thank you. In Alabasta, he had Baroque Works. So, you know, Buggy's whole mercenary crew and like pirate delivery crew, like stuff like that, he's going to be great at being like the guy that organizes stuff, that knows how to, you know, efficiently run an organization, get people from here to here, supervise and stuff like that. So this makes a lot of sense to me. Also, my favorite part of this, my favorite part within my favorite part of this reveal is the fact that we find out that this man is putting out bounties on the Marines, bro. My man hit that Uno reverse. He said, you activated my trap card. Honestly, all I could think about when like I found that out was this.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Oh my god, that was hilarious. So, honestly, I'm just loving just the development, the progress, just everything that's happening, and I can't wait for every chapter to learn more and more and more about what's happening in the world of One Piece, the waves that are being made, the alliances that are being formed, all the different like world building things that are going to be coming together and that we're going to be finding out. This is truly exciting, and it's a great time to be a One Piece fan. So, and can I just say, I love the panel of Luffy calling Buggy an idiot. The irony is not lost on me of Luffy of all people, calling someone an idiot. And just the fact that he has the like wherewithal and the like comprehension to understand that Buggy is an idiot, but simultaneously the lack of it to understand that like he is very similar to Buggy in so many aspects was not lost on me. So that was actually freaking hilarious. Also, I thought he was pretty cool with Buggy after the events of Marineford. So anyway, I digress. That was hilarious. Also, did anyone else find it kind of low-key endearing, the fact that, you know, after losing the lots and Luffy complaining about him being emperor and he should be the one to, you know, win lots, how Kid just like kind of acquiesces and like respects the fact that Luffy is an emperor, because he goes on to say, you emperors and you blah 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 blah. The fact that like he's referring to Luffy at that level as an emperor, he doesn't say something along the lines of like, oh, you shouldn't be an emperor, blah blah blah, or like denies Luffy's status as emperor. He actually fully acknowledges and goes with it and just puts him on that level of emperors. Like, you emperors and your pride about, I forget what the heck he says, but the fact that he calls Luffy an emperor was not lost on me, and the fact that he like acknowledges and respects that fact was not lost on me as well. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, but I thoroughly enjoyed this chapter. I thoroughly enjoyed where we are in the story, where we're going. Still a little nervous about, you know, quote unquote, the series like coming to an end soon, but once again, have total and utter faith in Oda. I have had some qualms. There are some issues that I have with things here and there, but I'm gonna give Oda the benefit of the doubt and let him come through. Anyway, this has been Otaku Talk. I'm your boy, your host, OD. Please take care, have a great weekend, and please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. Peace. Bye.